Recording started.
Welcome, everybody, to this month's Animal Reiki Talk. I am Kathleen Prasad, creator of the Let Animals Lead method of Animal Reiki. Very happy to be with you tonight. And tonight I'm going to be speaking about this month's blog, which is Seeing with the Heart, the Art of Wholeness in Animal Reiki. And because of the way that this blog is sort of structured, what I want to do is incorporate some meditations into this blog as I go through and kind of talk about some of the main ideas. And then I encourage you to go to my website, animalreikisource.com, and check out the blog page, and you will see this there for you to read if you have not done so already. So, in the Let Animals Lead method of Animal Reiki, we learn and talk a lot about, and it's an evolving concept, I guess, the idea of healing and what is true healing. And we learn that true healing is actually not about fixing what's broken, but it's about seeing with the heart and seeing deeper than what's wrong and acknowledging or awakening to the wholeness that has always been there. And so this is about a shift in perception. And so tonight, when I'm talking about this topic, I'm going to be talking a lot about ways to shift our perception so that we stop getting stuck on all the things that are wrong with our animal and we learn to look deeper and recognize the innate light and beautiful, perfect spirit within each animal. And when we can do that, we become this mirror, mirroring back this perfect, beautiful light to the animal. And we're creating a sanctuary of love and trust and peace with the animals. And so, one of the ways that I describe this shift in perception, to be able to see from the heart and see wholeness, even in difficult moments, I call it our all is well state of mind. I also talk about it as seeing with your Reiki eyes. And it is a way of freeing ourselves from worry, judgment, and the need to control the outcome of the situation. And the wisdom of the Reiki precepts is a big piece I'm going to talk about tonight. And also the meditative exercises and mindfulness that Reiki teaches us. This can help us to deepen our presence in this moment. And that helps us expand our awareness so that we can see more than what's wrong. We can really recognize that beautiful inner light and focus on that when an animal needs us. This is how we create a positive energy, a calm, safe energy that animals can trust. And we can really be there for our animals when they need us the most. I have a quote here I want to share with you because I think it explains this really beautifully. Dr. Sharon Salzberg said, "Healing with compassion requires a shift in perspective from judgment to understanding and from separation to connection." I love this, and we can contemplate this as I am speaking all about the art of seeing the wholeness in a difficult moment. So, in the Let Animals Lead method, we talk a lot about how our mental focus, what we're thinking about, really matters when we are with animals. And this is because it is what our mental focus is thinking about that is creating the vibration or the energy that animals feel from us. What is the energy we want to give out to them? I want you to think really carefully about that because animals do sense our energy. So the question is, what is the energy we are sending? And that's what this sort of idea of having an all is well energy or having a really calm and grounded, peaceful, positive energy is all about. And it really has to start with our mind and it has to start with meditation. So let's talk about obstacles to being present. To me, presence, when we can truly be present here in this moment, that means that we are seeing with the heart because all of the things that take us out of this present moment, things like worry that take us into the future and anger that take us into the past, things that have happened, those things take us away from this moment, right? We can really see that reflected in the Reiki precepts. The Reiki precepts illuminate both the things that take us out of this present moment and also the things that bring us into this present moment, all within these 5 simple precepts. Isn't that amazing? These are foundational teachings in the Let Animals Lead method, and I want to go through them today. So, the first part is just for today. And not everybody thinks of that as its own separate precept, but I like to pull it into its own moment here as we are contemplating how to be more present, how to see with the heart. Just for today reminds us that all we have is now, is today. And I think sometimes we rush through our life. We have so many distractions. We're multitasking and we're thinking about what's tomorrow or the next day or next week or next month. And we don't realize that what have we lost in that shuffle? We've lost today. We lost it. And in reality, that's all we have. And so that I think is a very profound phrase, just for today, that we can slow down and stop and be present here. Do not be angry. The next Reiki precept. It reminds us to be honest. It reminds us to notice, oh, I'm feeling this troublesome emotion of anger because we are human. It's natural to get angry, right? But the way we deal with it can be very harmful. We may carry that anger with us. And animals feel that as a vibration, just as they feel when we are multitasking and we're all over the place and we're not actually present today. They feel that too. You can't hide this stuff from animals. So if we can let go of that anger, acknowledge it, see it, understand it is not helpful to the situation, practice letting it go, that can really help stabilize and calm our energy. Do not worry reminds us that fear takes us out of the present. And when we worry, we often think about things that might or could happen. And that means we're not actually thinking about what's going on for reals in the moment with the animals. Maybe they're asking something from us. Maybe they need something from us. We're not able to focus in and see that because we are focusing on the worry. Also, our worry comes forth as a very disturbed vibration to animals, and it can often enhance any fear that they may be facing, and it can create a snowball. I'm fearful, the animal picks on up on that, is fearful, and then I see that my animal's fearful and I get more fearful, and then they think, oh no, something's really wrong, mom's scared, and then they get more fearful, and you can see the snowball effect. This is all about energy and just being aware. Okay. The more we can find ways to let go of the worry, and I'm going to teach you a couple of meditations tonight to help you with that, the more our vibration can be calm, our energy calms, more grounded, and is more safe for animals to connect. Be grateful. Now we're stepping into the part of the precepts beyond do not anger, do not worry, showing us the obstacles to connection with animals and to presence and to seeing with the heart. Now we're going into the instructions. How do we do this? What do we focus on in our minds? Be grateful reminds us that when we're not present, we forget. What do we forget? All of our blessings, everything that we have. So just taking a moment to count your blessings is a wonderful exercise. I like to do this at the end of each evening before I go to sleep. I list in my mind all the things I'm grateful for. It's a beautiful way to end each day. Work diligently, the next Reiki precept. It's a reminder that the art of seeing with the heart or seeing wholeness in difficult moments, our mindful presence that we are cultivating. It's not a one and done thing, okay? This requires constant effort and attention, but the payoff is huge because not only do we find self healing for ourselves when we do this practice of bringing ourselves back to this moment, letting go of anger, letting go of worry, being grateful. But the animals feel the shift and change in our energy and are drawn to us when they need us most. And finally, be kind to others. This is a reminder that mindfulness is intertwined with compassion. They are not separate things. And the more judgmental we are of ourselves or of others, the more difficult it is to be present with this moment, to grasp this moment, to be in this moment with our animals. Um, and we get pulled in these different directions of our different difficult emotions. Sometimes it's much easier to be kind to the animals than to ourselves, but I think this precept is really about kindness and compassion for all, and we are part of that all. So don't forget that. Now, I want to talk about how deepening our understanding of wholeness can happen through meditation. And this, of course, meditation is the fundamental teaching of the Let Animals Lead method of Animal Reiki. It's how we get there. We can talk about, oh, I shouldn't be angry and worried and bring a disturbed energy when I'm with animals. We can understand it on the intellectual level, but how do we get there on the energetic level? Meditation. Now, Animal Reiki has many traditional Japanese Reiki meditations that we use, and I'm going to close off tonight with one of them that I do every month for our animal healing circle. But first, I want to take a moment and I want to show you a really simple practice to help bring you into this present moment and to kind of do a check in. And I like to call this the body illumination meditation. So it's very short, very simple, but it's a way to just kind of come into, just for today. Let's come into this moment to begin with. All right. And I think that's a great place for us to start tonight because, at least where I am here, it's evening. Everybody's had a long day. Who knows when you show up for this meeting what your day has been like. So let's take a moment to kind of let all of that go and just bring ourselves back to presence. Okay. So, this is a great practice that you can do with your animals present. That's my favorite way to do this practice, but you just find a comfortable position to sit. You can also do this in the pasture with your horse, standing. So, anywhere that where you're with your animals and are comfortable is great. If you want, you can close your eyes. If you want to keep your eyes open, you can just have them like soft focus and just relax, maybe 45-degree downward, kind of just gazing at nothing in particular. But since we're sitting here together, why don't we close our eyes for a moment? And I'd like you to just imagine that there is a beautiful light illuminating your heart center. And this light is warm and calming. And now I want you to notice any sensations that you might feel in your heart center. These could be physical emotions or physical sensations or emotional sensations. I often feel a lot of emotion in my heart as well. So just take stock for a moment of this beautiful, soft, warm light here. And how is your heart feeling right now? Don't judge, just be an observer. Just notice and allow it to be what it is. Now expand this light to your entire chest and abdomen. So let's expand this light from the shoulders to the pelvis, illuminating your whole body here. And as you expand this light, again, bring your awareness to physical and emotional sensations that you have in these parts of your body. Again, we're just observing, just noticing where we are from the shoulders through your body to your pelvis. And finally, expand this warm, calming light to illuminate the rest of your body, your extremities. So your head, your arms, and your legs. And again, be the quiet observer. What are the physical sensations or the emotions that you're feeling in any of these areas? And remembering to be curious and patient with what you observe. Let go of any judgments you have about these feelings. If your mind wanders, just gently bring yourself back to the light and to the focus. And now let's finish this little practice. We'll take a nice deep breath, come back and open your eyes, and take a minute and just notice. Did you notice any shifts in your energy overall from the beginning to the end of that short little practice? You may have noticed a calming, a grounding. Whatever you notice is just perfect. Perhaps your animals came to sit with you. Notice their response. And I think this is one of the great simple practices we can do in any moment to just stop and come into presence. This is something that is really helpful for animals. It's a great way to start a Reiki session with animals, to bring yourself into this moment, although Reiki practice will also do this for you. Okay. But what happens when we're trying to do these meditations and our mind is totally distracted? One of the things I like to do is when I notice myself thinking a thought that's not related to my meditation, a random thought like, oh, after this, I have to go to the store and get groceries or something, right? Comes in, no, I'm trying to meditate. So what I do instead is I'll just say, oh, look at that thought. And I'll imagine that I put it into a cloud and the cloud just floats by and takes it away. And so I just put those thoughts into these imaginary clouds and just allow them to quietly float away with love, you know? So I think the tricky part is noticing the thoughts, right? But you can practice imagining them just kind of floating away from you as you notice them and bringing you back into that quieter space of mind. So now I want to talk about practicing acceptance. Acceptance of a difficult health situation or a diagnosis of our animal is so difficult. But I love this quote by Lao Tzu because I think it really brings a lot of wisdom about this to us. And this quote is, being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while loving someone deeply gives you courage. And I really believe that the love that we share with our animals, the love that we have for them, the love that they have for us, it creates this indefinable, magical strength and courage to help us walk even the most difficult path with them. But as we do this with the strength and power and healing of love, there are some things that we can do to help us practice acceptance of what is. And one of those things starts with being compassionate to yourself. And so I want to say to each of you who are here tonight, probably you are a caregiver. Certainly, if you have animals living in your home or on your property, you are absolutely a caregiver. And it's really important when animals are sick, they require a lot. But don't forget to be kind to yourself and to prioritize your own physical and emotional well being. And that way, you'll have the strength to be truly present in that open hearted way I've been talking about. If we are not rested, it becomes very, very difficult to do this. So find ways to step away and take a break when you need to. Make time, find a way to do it. And then to take the next step in acceptance, choose what you focus on. So when you notice your mind going into the fear, what's going to happen? Choose instead to focus on some blessings, some things to be grateful for, even in this difficult situation. And, this is very difficult to do at first, but then as you practice it more and more and more, it becomes, we're actually creating new neural pathways in our brain from negative thinking to positive thinking. And so in the beginning, it's very difficult to create those new pathways. It's like we're hacking through a jungle path that's overgrown because we don't take the positive road very often. But the more you practice it, the more well trod that path will be in your mind. It'll be easier to find things to be grateful for, to feel that gratitude, to see those blessings, even in difficult moments. And so through practicing gratitude and self care, we can slowly find more peace in the places that we can't change. And when we find acceptance, it allows us to let go of that struggle and use our energy in a more positive way. So, another way besides practicing gratitude to create these new positive neural pathways in our brain is affirmations. And so, here are some affirmations um, for acceptance around difficulty. So, I'm gonna say each of these twice. And so, as I do this, what I'd like you to do is just, again, we're going to go into kind of a little meditative, quiet space. Maybe place your hands on your lower belly to help ground yourself. I know some of you might be going through a lot right now. And so finding our center in our lower belly is always really helpful. And then I want you to allow these affirmations to just flow through your energy. Just allow the healing energy of them to just, you know, pour over you or pour through you, however you want to imagine it. You can imagine they're a beautiful golden light, and they're just taking away any feeling of sadness or struggle or difficulty. Just feel them melt away with the beautiful bright light of these affirmations, okay? So, hands on your lower belly, closing your eyes. I am strong and resilient. I am strong and resilient. I choose to be optimistic. I choose to be optimistic. I know that everything happens for a reason. I know that everything happens for a reason. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. I trust my intuition and I am making good decisions. I trust my intuition and I am making good decisions. I'm grateful I'm here with you today and have the chance to make a difference. I'm grateful I'm here with you today and have the chance to make a difference. We are surrounded by peace. We are surrounded by peace. I am committed to finding the positive in this situation. I am committed to finding the positive in this situation. I step away and recharge when I need to. I step away and recharge when I need to. I am the light and will walk this path with you side by side. I am the light and will walk this path with you side by side. And just place your hands over your heart for a minute, just feeling the positive energy of these affirmations flowing through you, allowing yourself to accept that positivity in this moment. All right. There are a couple of other ways that I think it's helpful for us to see deeper and to see wholeness and to see with our heart. One way is through journaling. If any of you like to journal, and I do, I love writing, it's very helpful. Um, Reflecting on the power of our practice can inspire us to work hard to stay present with positivity. Writing helps us connect with our powerful inner spirit so that we remember our wholeness more easily and then we can see it in our animals more easily. We explore our feelings, we bring to light any self limiting beliefs that might be holding us back. Writing is such a powerful healing practice. And secondly, harness the power of community support. This is the reason I created the Let Animals Lead online community through Mighty Networks. I have to say that this is one of the most amazing communities I've ever been a part of. Of course, Sarah, my nonprofit, is another amazing community. But the online community here is so positive and supported. And the great thing about community is sometimes life is difficult and you feel like I just can't hold it together right now. And then guess what? Your community can hold you up in those moments. And so I think exploring and growing together all the aspects of animal Reiki and our spiritual practice, doing that as a group helps us so much in everything we do for the animals so that we can be there for them as the best version of ourselves. And so, as we, through meditation, through the Reiki precepts, through affirmations, through journaling, through community support, each of these practices help to reveal our whole truth of ourselves and no longer just see with the eyes, but see with the Reiki eyes, or see with the heart, or see the wholeness. So, this is really a path of heart centered being in the world. And I want you to know that wholeness is not something we create, it is something we remember, but it is always there. And so to finish up tonight, I wanted to finish with this special animal Reiki practice, the Hara breathing practice that I do each month. And this is an animal healing circle, because I would like each of you to bring to your mind and heart animals that are on your mind and heart tonight. We will hold them together with the power of shared intention, positivity, love, and light of Reiki. Okay, so let's go into Gasho, and we'll just take a moment to set our intention. And this month, we are focusing in my community, so I'll bring that here today. We are focusing on shelter and sanctuary animals in the world. We invite them to step in and share the space with us. And I also, whatever animals come to your mind, animals in your home, animals in your family, other animals that are on your mind, we invite them in as well. And we'll rest our hands on our lap, palms up. And I want you to imagine as you breathe that your breath is a beautiful light. And as you breathe in, this light comes in through the crown and fills your body, moving all the way down to the lower belly or the hara. And then as you exhale, imagine that light can expand out of every cell of your being, every pore in your skin. It just expands out into your aura and then out into the universe. All that with the exhale. And then breathing in the light, filling your body, connecting, and breathing out, expanding. And breathing in and breathing out. Take a moment and just breathe this light at your own pace. And then relax your breath and see yourself sitting in this beautiful space of light, the light within and the light all around you. And this light is filled with peacefulness, grounding, perfect balance, and harmony. It's a beautiful invitation to your animals that it is safe to connect. They can trust the energy that you create and that you are there for them when they need you the most. And just relax into that offering or that invitation of light and love. Then going into Gasho and taking a moment to thank the animals, however they chose to connect in this moment was just perfect. And setting your intention to finish, take a nice deep breath, slowly come back and open your eyes. And as you can see from this animal Reiki practice, that it's all about seeing the light within ourselves, and then more easily the light within our animals. And this is a wonderful practice to help us to shift our perception and to see from the heart and to see wholeness. So I encourage you to practice it every day with your animals. All right. So before we finish tonight, I will open it up if there are any questions or comments tonight before we end. You can unmute yourself, you can raise your hand. All right. Well, thank you all for being here with me tonight. I hope you enjoyed the meditations we did tonight. I hope you found this talk helpful. Visit the blog, read the blog. It goes into a lot more detail than I did here tonight. And I hope that it's very helpful for you in supporting your animals with some pure positive love, light, and Reiki. Blessings, everybody. Take care. Good night.